Last weekend in Kano, over 1,500 couples got married. At the same time, in one weekend, across all the 44 local government areas in the state. The government paid the dowries, provided the furniture, and gave each bride money to start a small business. Over 5,000 couples applied, and only 1,500 were selected. 1.5 billion naira was spent in one weekend on 1,500 marriages, and I have thoughts. First things first, this program is not even new in Kano. In 2012, the government started the program with just about 100 couples, and they were mostly widows and divorcees. They got married at the Emir's Palace in a quiet act of community care. Then it grew every year under every new governor. The numbers kept rising as demand kept increasing. This year alone, 5,000 couples applied. What started with 100 marriages 14 years ago is now a 1.5 billion naira program that made international news this week. One groom said, if it wasn't for this mass wedding, I would have never gotten married, even in the next 5 years, due to the hardship of life. Another one said the whole point of the wedding was to help families where the husband to be was not financially stable. But the moving story of the weekend was Haruna Bashir. Earlier this year, Haruna Bashir lost his wife and all six of his children in a violent attack, and he was broken. Governor Yusuf didn't just marry him, he gave him a house in Amana City. He had sponsorship and a new wife so he could begin again. This is a government showing up for its people in a way that most governments never ever do. But the problem is, Kano State paid to get 1,500 couples married. These are couples who, by their own admission, could not afford to have gotten married without government help. Now, my question is, who is going to sponsor the children that comes from these marriages? Because the north of Nigeria already has one of the highest rates of out of school children anywhere in the world. Over 10 million children in northern Nigeria are not in school. The inability of the parents to pay school fees, buy uniforms, and prioritize these children's education over survival is one of the main driving forces behind that number. Couples who have no money to marry will have no money to take care of children. And in a culture where large families are the norm, these 1,500 marriages will produce thousands of children. There are also reports that some couples applied to this program purely to access the benefits, with no genuine intention of a lasting marriage. Now, I'm not saying the Kano state government did a bad thing. What they did for Haruna Bashir alone is extraordinary. And for the men who cannot afford a dowry in this economy, this program gives them dignity. If the same 1.5 billion naira had been invested in free education, school feeding programs, and vocational training for low income northern families, ask yourself, what would the compound effect of that be in the next 20 years? Kano spent 1.5 billion naira on 1,500 weddings this weekend. I genuinely hope they have a plan for the thousands of children those weddings will produce. Drop your thoughts in the comments and follow for more.